Apple just totally surprised us all. An all-new Apple event is happening in just a couple of days, and according to all these last-minute leaks and rumors, this is set to be one of the most mysterious and most controversial, and I guess also just plain weird Apple events we've had in a long time. After rumors predicted a big iPad launch last week that ended up just being the launch of a new weird Apple Pencil, and after we'd also heard that Apple was sort of done with their major product announcements for the year, the company surprised us. A scary fast event is happening on October 30th, and there's a lot of questions as to what we could see. No one exactly knows what Apple is planning, so let me break down all the latest leaks, all the rumors, everything we think we know about the October 30th event, all the chilling surprises Apple could have in store for us, and maybe AirPower makes its return from the grave. Now, while this October event definitely is a surprise, I should mention that we had heard some murmurs from this in the Apple rumor mill just a couple of days ago. Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg, who has a pretty good track record for reporting on Apple stuff, of course, he was able to say that he did think that we might see some new Macs before the end of October. And then just a couple hours ago, Apple debuted this invite over to certain members of the media. Looks like it's just going to be a virtual event, no in-person component. And also, this is set to be one of, if not the latest Apple events we've ever seen, with a start time at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be online. So I guess Apple doesn't have to do anything but press play on the pre-recorded announcement. But still, a late night announcement like this is weird and not something I think we've ever seen before, at least not in modern Apple history. Taking a look at this invite, though, does give us a few clues as to what we could see. The Scary Fast tagline almost definitely hints at this being something centered around new Macs, maybe a new M series chip like the M3, and also if you go to Apple's events page on their website, you'll see this cool animation that transforms sort of this gray silvery Apple logo to give us the outline of the smiley Finder guy, which basically confirms this is probably an event mostly, if not entirely, focused on new Macs. What's odd about this, though, is that almost every Mac is in the M2 family. MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, Mac Mini, Mac Studio, they all have the modern M2 family of chip inside, except for one Mac that is in need of an upgrade still on M1, and that is the iMac. This iMac got a very colorful modern redesign all the way back in the spring of 2020, and while it was one of the first Macs to get some love from Apple and receive the Apple Silicon treatment with the M1, even today, now over 3 years later, it's still rocking that M1 chip. Nothing wrong, Apple Silicon is still great, but the M1 is starting to show its age, and many are speculating that we should see the jump to this iMac with a new, more modern Apple processor inside, perhaps something in the M2 family, or maybe Apple just leapfrogs the M2 and goes directly to the M3 with this all-new iMac. The other theory floating around right now is that maybe Apple gives us a scary fast upgrade to the iMac, giving us not only the M2 chip, which is sort of a, of course they're going to do that, but also maybe giving us some Pro versions like the Mac Mini with the M2 Pro chip and maybe even the M2 Max, but probably just the M2 Pro in there, making a more Pro-focused iMac, sort of like the iMac Pro we had a couple of years ago that has since been discontinued. It seems like most people who want the power of Apple Silicon but want more of a desktop form factor have gone with Mac Studio or Mac Pro, but there is a case to be made that an integrated all-in-one solution, as nicely designed as the iMac is, would be a nice companion for someone who wants an all-in-one solution and also wants more power. So maybe a higher-end version of the M2 in that iMac would be scary fast and be a really welcome upgrade. Probably not any design changes since the iMac just got a huge redesign a couple of years ago and still looks good even in 2023, but a new M series chip inside, whether it be an M2, M2 Pro, M3, does make sense and is likely to be the star of this show. Okay, iMac, sure, that definitely does make sense. An upgrade there is going to be nice to see, but other Macs are all pretty modern and not really in that much need of an upgrade. There has been some new discussion about some potential MacBook Pro upgrades, but again, we just got the M2 Pro chips in the MacBook Pro, I believe back in January earlier this year with another weird virtual event. So those computers are still super fast, super modern, super capable, and are still great machines. Now, I don't think many would complain if Apple was to debut M3 Pro and M3 Max Max chips and just sort of go all out with some new Pro chips. I don't think anyone is going to be mad about new MacBook Pros. Certainly weird, but not unprecedented for Apple to do, but also doesn't make a whole lot of sense, as Apple usually isn't that fast at making multiple upgrades, especially 2 pretty significant upgrades in less than 12 months. But as of right now, this does seem like the most likely outcome. Both Apple analysts Ming-Chi Kuo and Mark Gurman both sort of confirmed that M3 Macs are coming at this event, likely some all-new M3-equipped MacBook Pros and an M3 iMac. So looks like the M3 is coming much sooner than we originally thought. Putting Macs to the side, there is another obvious question here, and that is, what other surprises could we see at this event? Could we get some new iPads? There were some rumors of that just a couple of days ago. Well, yes, but probably no. There have been some rumors over the last week or so that we could see some minor iPad upgrades, maybe a minor spec bump to the iPad mini, maybe an 11th gen iPad, maybe a small upgrade to the iPad Pro, but the consensus as of right now for most people is that we likely won't get new iPads until sometime in the spring of 2024 at the earliest. While some spec bump upgrades would make sense, and maybe Apple's trying to get something out before the holidays, that would make sense, but the rumor mill is very split on whether that's going to happen or not. So maybe, but again, this does look a bit more Mac focused. But we are approaching the 3-year anniversary, believe it or not, of AirPods Max that debuted in December of 2020. And as it stands in 2023, they're great, but they certainly need an upgrade. We've heard rumors for a while now that Apple is working on an upgraded audio processor for AirPods Max version 2, a new carrying case, new colors, basically a refresh to AirPods Max should be coming. And maybe this 3-year anniversary-ish would be a good time to launch these, though again, these have been on the table for a while, and there's no clear indication to say if they're coming yet or not. Also, some rumors of low-cost AirPods launching in 2024. Maybe those could make a surprise debut before the holiday season, though that is unlikely. In terms of iPhone 15 is still brand new. There is some talk of the iPhone 16, but that's coming next fall. And there also probably will be a new iPhone SE soon, an iPhone SE4, but again, probably won't be launching the SE4 until 2024. As always, though, I'm curious, guys, what are your thoughts on this? What do you hope we could see at this October 30th event? What could be the big surprise? What could be the one more thing? Do you find it odd Apple is doing a late night event, and do you think it's just going to be for the M3 family? Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, I appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Robert Rosenfeld from the Apple Circle, and I'll see you all in the next one.